back. So it's time to get that entity layer out of the way. I don't want to see it anymore. Let's just remove it. It's going to take a couple of lessons because I want to kind of just build this up slowly so you guys can see what's actually going to happen. And the first step is, I think, explaining the reason why I want to do this. And the main reason right now for me is that we're going to use the entity framework, and that means that we're going to have entity. Customer is going to be an entity for the database, meaning that the customer is going to have some very specific database information inside the actual object, right? So this guy is going to have what we call some data annotations directly inside it. Let me show you what that means. Just let's have a look at some column attributes we can have. For instance, this is one of them. There will be others. This is very specific to the entity framework. Very specific to the entity framework. And there will be more. There will be like, we can start making column descriptions. We can start really making like complex type attributes. We can make, all of these are built directly against a foreign key attribute, for instance, which one is the foreign key inside our database, stuff like that. Notice that's database stuff. It's database stuff. It doesn't belong in the UI, it doesn't belong in the business logic layer. It's database stuff. That's why I want an entity for a customer that's purely residing inside the database. It doesn't belong anywhere else. The business logic layer can use it, but it has to understand that the database owns it. And that's why I don't want the cross entity layer lying in the side. And it's very easy to replace this guy and get it out of the way. Now, the second layer, in the business logic layer, to have something, I'm going to call that either domain object or business object. That's really up to you. It's some people call it model. There's a lot of names. I'm going to call it a domain object, I think, in the next lesson. So that's why I'm going to what I'm going to name that. So let's start actually breaking this apart and getting rid of that entity layer once and for all. And there are other reasons for doing this. We'll also have probably some more business logic inside our domain objects or business objects. Call them what you want again. So that's why we're going to start making this break right now. And when that is done, we're going to make some more code to make our application awesome. See you next time.